I just watched episode 5 of The Rings of Power. Unfortunately, I don't think I can give you my top 5 things here. I'm just going to go over 5 things that I'd like to cover. I'm going to start with the Halfwoods. I'm really glad that the stranger is now talking. We're seeing more of his character come out. I'm really into the mystery behind this character. I know there's a lot of speculation on who he is. Is he one of the Astari, one of the wizards? Is he the early version of Gandalf? I'm enjoying that mystery and I'm keen to see more of him. Again, I think Nori is really entertaining. She's obviously a very courageous character. She was willing to take on 3 wargs, as you could see when she was about to break that stick off. It was also really cool to see the stranger and more magic use. I love that moment with the freezing arm, that sort of sinister energy creeping up his arm, which also froze Nori. Another thing I really enjoyed about the Halfwoods here was the use of song in the start of the episode. It's a pretty big part of The Hobbit and the Fellowship of the Ring, the books. The hobbits will often be singing as they journey from, say, the Shire to the Prancing Pony or beyond in the later parts of the story. So yeah, that was a cool thing to see. I really love the map visual, the sort of leather stitching and the imprinted dots as they journeyed through the map. That was really cool and I think really well made. I'm really glad that we got to see more of Gil-galad. I enjoyed the tension between him and Elrond. King Gil-galad is one of the most powerful beings in the history and lore of Middle-earth. So it was awesome to see him as this more imposing figure that has quite an integral role in this overarching storyline. However, the threat of the Light, the Eldar dying out, there's not really that sense of urgency, which I think is an issue with this show. There's all these threats of looming evil, but not much is actually happening. Another issue I had with Elrond's storyline was the oath that he made to Durin just didn't really seem to have any consequences when he broke it and told everyone the news about the Mithril. The stakes just don't really seem there, and it feels like characters can just, I don't know, do what they want. Now that Elrond and Durin are having to go back to the Mines of Moria to convince the king to allow the elves to mine the Mithril, this is just too much convincing other characters to do stuff rather than characters doing stuff. Onto the Southlanders. Again, I'm really enjoying seeing the orcs and Adar. They look cool, they're entertaining, they're scary. At the same time, the stakes just don't really feel like they're there. This is a very small village and half of them have already turned to the darkness. I don't really get what we're meant to really care about here. Obviously, you want these people to survive, but they don't seem to even care about it either. I really enjoyed Theo in the last episode, but this episode wasn't really doing anything. He just showed Arondir the sword, the hilt he's been carrying around, and we know that it's not just a sword, it's a key. I guess that's exciting. This goes into my next problem, that there's just so much. I guess we'll see what happens next, as opposed to things actually happening. Now to Numenor, a place that I thought we would have left at the start of the episode, but turns out it's just 1 step forward, 2 steps back with these characters. We saw Isildur wandering around with his laptop bag, staring at his friends, not doing anything. He's just sort of looking at people doing more entertaining things than himself. I really hope they develop this character better. He's been really boring on screen. The scene with the boats leaving Numenor at the end, that should have been at the start of the episode. Like, that just took too long. There's this weird sense of Galadriel's urgency, like we have to go. But then it's all just so relaxed and everyone's laughing as they leave, throwing flowers. Like, I understand there's like a bit of a ritual thing here, but they're just lacking this sense of urgency, which I think is in turn making me less engaged in what the hell's even going on there. Now to my last point about Halbrand. I'm stoked that we finally got to see him in some armor. He looked great. He was quite impressive. However, at the same time, up to this point, he hasn't done anything. He's just stood around, just kind of moped. We don't even know why he doesn't want to do anything. He said to Galadriel, I did something in the past, but now we don't know why. And that's okay, I'm all about mystery, but if you just have this mysterious character not doing anything, you're not adding to his mystery. He's just not doing anything, and that's quite boring. I feel like I'm a bit of a broken record now where I keep saying I hope I get to see more of this, because that's kind of the issue I'm having with this series is I'm not left satisfied with the episodes. I'm constantly hoping the next episode is going to correct what the past episode failed to deliver. With that being said, I'm definitely going to watch this show, there's no doubt about it, and I am enjoying it. I just wish the characters were progressing further instead of this constant stalling that feels really unwarranted and just stalling for the sake of stalling. All right, that's my review for this app. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. See you next week.